Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In today's lesson, I will be showing you the use of View menu. With View menu, we can control and change the way objects and molecules are displayed in the application window. Or we can also control which toolbars and explorers are visible and which of them are hidden. The View menu has got the following submenus. Now let me show you the View menu. Click here on the View menu. This View menu has got several submenus, as you can see on the screen. First of the submenus is Display Style. Second one is Color. Then we have Transform, Spin, Storyboard, and Clipping Planes, etc. Now let's go through all of these submenus one by one. But in today's lesson, I will only talk about the first submenu, that is Display Style. If you click on Display Style, a dialog box opens with several options in it. DisplayStyle Dialog Box is not always the same. Its options depend on the window opened in the Discovery Studio Visualizer. The dialog box will give you different options for different window types. We have several windows that we can open in the Discovery Studio Visualizer. For example, we can open a protein molecule in a molecule window. Also, we can open a sequence of a protein or a DNA in a sequence window. The third one is the chart window, in which you can open your Ramachandran plots, etc. The fourth window type is the 2D structure window, in which you can visualize your molecule in 2D style and two-dimensional style. And the last window that you can use in Discovery Studio Visualizer is the script window, in which you can type your programming scripts. For each of these windows, the dialog box will give you different options. Let me first open you all these 5 kinds of windows. First, let's open the molecule window. To open up a molecule window, you will have to open a protein molecule. For example, suppose I'm going to open URL. Here you will have to type the ID, the PDB ID of a protein molecule, and then you click open. So a molecule window is now opened. Now let me show you the second window type, that is the sequence window. So for this window, you will have to click on the sequence and then click show sequence. This is your sequence window. To open up a 2D diagrams, for example, you can go here and then I click on show 2D diagram. So this is my 2D diagram window. Third kind of window we have is the chart window. To open the chart window, first you will have to open the molecule window. After that, I go to chart. In the chart, for example, I'm opening the Ramachandran plot. So this is my chart window. The last window we have in our window types is the script window. To open a script window, you go to File menu, New, and then you go to Script window. So this is our script window. These are all the kinds of window types we have in DS Visualizer. Each of these windows will have different display style dialog box. Now let's first go to the molecule window. So this is my molecule window, and now I want to show you the dialog box for this window. Go to View, click on Display Style. So this is how the dialog box for Display Style will appear for the molecule window. Close this. Now let's go to the second window, that is the sequence window. So this is our sequence window. After going here, then go to View, click Display Style. As you can see, this dialog box has different options than the one we opened for molecule window. Close this one. Now let's go to the 2D window. Click on View, Display Style. So this is how the display dialog box will appear for a 2D window. These are the options inside it. Close this. And now let me go to the chart window. here you go to View, Display Style. For this chart window, the Display Style Dialog Box will appear like this and will have options, as you can see in the dialog box. At the end, I am going to show you the script window. This is our script window, as you can see here. Now click on View, Display Style. The Display Style Dialog Box will have these options for the script window. So you saw the different kinds of dialog boxes of display styles for different window types. Now the first question that can arise in our mind is what a display style dialog box can do for us. The display style dialog box options controls the appearance of the objects, the molecules, the sequence, the scripts, the text, etc. of the current window. For example, it can control the shape, the color and lighting and material of the molecule or the sequence, etc. We will go through all the options in Display Style Dialog Box for all the windows one by one. First, let's start with the display style for molecular window. Okay, first you go to the molecule window, then click View and then click on Display Style. As you can see, this display style has different options in it. For a protein molecule, you will have these options: atom, proteins, cell, graphics, lighting and materials. Each of these options will have sub options through which you can control the appearance, the color and the shape of the molecule. First of all, let's go to the atom. This atom menu contains several sub options. First of these options is the off radio button. If you select this option, the atoms of the molecule that is displayed on the screen will disappear and they will be invisible or they will be hidden. You can use this style to simplify a complex molecule by displaying only the atoms you are interested in. The second option is line option. If you select this option, it will display the atoms using a traditional wireframe display. As you can see in this window, it has changed the molecule to a line style. Now let's click on this stick button. It will display the bonds using solid cylinders. As you can see that the whole molecule shape has changed and you can only see the sticks in the molecule. The next option is the ball and stick. It depicts bonds using cylinders for bonds and balls for atoms. The ball and sticks are sized using the ball size and stick size parameters, as you can see here in the dialog box. Next option is the scaled ball and stick. It depicts bonds using cylinders and atoms using balls, scaled to the van der Waals radii. The balls and sticks are sized using the ball size and stick size parameters. Next option here we have is CPK. CPK stands for Corey Pauling Colton model. The CPK option displays spheres sized to the van der Waals radii. The last option here we have is Polyhedron. It displays coordination polyhedra around atoms. This style is used primarily for materials and inorganic molecules. The polyhedron style creates polyhedra for atoms having 4 or more bonds. The resulting effect on polymers resembles beads in a chain. Atoms with fewer than 4 bonds are displayed as lines, and atoms with no bonds are not displayed. Another thing in this dialog box that we can see is coloring. And coloring can be by different kinds of parameters. This first option that you can see is color by. You can color atoms in a number of different ways. The color by list has a variety of predefined color schemes. For example, the first option here in the color by through which you can color your atoms is by element type. This element option colors each of the atom with the color that is predefined for that specific element. Next, you can color the molecule by parent color type. This option will color each of the atom by the color of the parent object containing the atom. For example, if an atom is contained in a specific amino acid, so that atom will be colored identical to that amino acid's color. Next is the color by molecule color. If you select this option, it will color each of the atom by the color of the molecule to which that atom belongs to. Here in this color by menu, you may see other color schemes that are added automatically depending on the atomic and molecular attributes calculated on the molecule and the hierarchical structure of the model. Similarly, you can check this amino acid option. Click here and then apply this. You can see that the color has changed depending on the amino acid type. Then you can click on amino acid chain, apply. You will see the color like this. You can also click chain, apply. It will color each of the chain with the different color. Then we have a custom color. If you select custom option, then you can click on this color palette and a color palette will appear, and then you select any of the colors. For example, you can select red color. If you select red color and then click OK and click apply, so whole of the molecule will be colored red. But if you want to color a specific portion of the molecule, then you will have to select that portion of the molecule. For example, you select this chain and then you click on this custom color and select a different color. For example, you can select a blue color for this one and then click apply, so you will then have a blue color of that chain of the molecule. Similarly, if you select this checkbox, that is carbon atom only, then change the color of that. So only the carbon chain's color will be blue. The rest of the atoms will remain in the same color as it were previously colored. In some of the options, this show bond order option will also appear. So by selecting this checkbox, that is the checkbox for show bond order, it will show you the double bonds and triple bonds differently. But if you do not check this box, all the bonds will appear in the same style. The next tab we have here is the protein tab, and this tab is only available when you have a protein molecule or amino acid chain in your graphic or molecular window view. These options will control the amino acid chain style. The first option over here is off. This option hides the display of amino acids and amino acid chains. For example, if you click on this option, the amino acid chain will just be disappeared. The next option here is CA wire. It represents the protein backbone by drawing a line that joins the alpha carbon atoms in a polypeptide chain. The next option we have is CA stick. It represents the protein backbone just by drawing a cylinder that joins only the alpha carbon atoms in the protein chain. Next option we have here is line ribbon. It will represent the protein molecule, the backbone of the protein molecule, as a ribbon of closely spaced lines. As you can see that the ribbon consists of thin lines which are closely spaced. The next option is flat ribbon. Click on this option. So the protein backbone will appear like flat ribbons. In the solid ribbon option, the protein backbone will appear as a solid 3D ribbon. The next option we have is tube. This option will represent your protein molecule like this. The next option is schematic. It represents the protein's secondary structure motifs in cartoon form. Helical structures are represented as wide cylinders, beta sheets as arrows pointing in the direction of the C-terminus, and coil and turn regions are also displayed, which are shown as tubes. In this tab, we also have the coloring option. The first option, just like the previous one, we have color by. In the color by option, you can color the different parts of the protein depending on different options you select from here. For example, if you select color by residues, it will color each residue in the protein molecule or in the molecule differently. The C alpha option colors residues according to the color of the C alpha atoms of that residue. The secondary type option will color your secondary structure differently. For example, the helices will be colored as red, the beta sheets are generally colored as cyan like blue colors, the turns are represented with green color, and coils are shown in white color. And this option, that is N2C terminal, this option will color the residues in a continuous gradient from blue at the N terminal through white and then to the red color at the C terminal. The molecule option will color the residues according to the molecule which contains that residue. And this one is the chain option. If you select this chain option, it will color each of the chain of the protein differently. The amino acid chain option will color the residues according to the amino acid chain which contains the residue. Similarly, the cell option will color the residues according to the cell type that contains the residue. The function of the custom color is similar to the function as we previously explained in the atom tab. The next option we have here is the cell tab. In the cell tab, we have different options. First of them is off. If you click on this option and select it, the lattice display will turn off. The next option here is the line option. It displays the lattice with or without lines. The stick option displays the lattice with or without cylinders. The stick radius setting determines the thickness of the cylinders. This stick radius changes the radius of the sticks. Let's check it and change the stick radius and see how it affects the structure of the molecule. Let's try this color option and see how it affects the color of the cell. So you can see it can change the color of the cell. This option, that is the label axis, turns the cell axis label, that is A, B, C and O, etc. on or off. Next we have graphics tab. The graphics tab on the graphics view display style dialog allows you to set general graphics properties for the current molecule window. The first option here we can see is projection. It has options orthographic and perspective. So what does orthographic mean? If you select this option, what will it do? The orthographic projection produces a view in which objects appear to be of the same size regardless of their distance from the observer. Orthographic projection is typically used in engineering graphics and is associated with higher precision reproduction. Let's check this option and see how it affects the structure of the molecule. The next option we have here is perspective option. Perspective projection produces a view in which objects that are further from the observer, they appear smaller than the objects which are closer to the observer. This is similar to the way in which human eye works. Perspective projection usually provides a more realistic representation of a model. Check this option. As you can see, now the atoms closer to you appears larger than the objects and atoms at distant. The next option here we have is the background color. As you can see, the background of the window, of the molecular window, is black color now. You can change this color to white, red, or any other color. Also, you can change it to red color, for example. Here we have other two options. The first of them is the line width and the second one is depth Q. What line width does? It controls the thickness of lines used to render the objects, such as molecules in line display style and cell boundaries. Okay, now let's check the next option, depth Q. When you switch this option on, the objects that are further from the observer, they gradually blend into the background, while the objects that are closer to the observer, they are displayed in full and bright colors. This option allows you to feel the perception of depth. Let's check it. Let me check this option and see how it affects the appearance of the molecule. As you can see, this is changing the appearance like this. But if you turn off, the object's colors are full and bright regardless of their apparent distance from the observer. Next, we have quality options. This will change the quality of the molecule. You can set it to low, medium, or high quality. The quality setting controls the coarseness of three-dimensional objects used to display proteins or DNA, etc. A lower quality setting will improve the rendering performance by increasing the coarseness. A higher quality setting improves the visual appearance. For regular use, you can choose the setting that gives you the best combination of performance and quality. But for exporting an image, choose the ultra high quality. The next step we have is lighting tab. The lighting tab on the Graphics View Display Style dialogs allows you to set the lighting properties of the current molecule window. This first option, that is on and off option, turns on or turns off the light. The on and off check boxes, if clicked, they will show that light on the molecule. Next to the on and off option, we have color option. You can change the color of the lights. Select another color. You can see the color of the lighting has changed now. Similarly, there are other options available here which you can play around and see how it affects the appearance of the molecule. The last option, the last tab we have here is the Materials tab. This tab allows you to set the material display properties for the current molecule window. The first option here we have is Ambient. It is a unique lighting setting in that it doesn't have a direction and affects the entire view. The second one we have here is Diffuse. It controls the intensity of the light source. The third one is Specular. It is used to produce highlights on an object. The location of the specular highlight is determined by the direction of the light. Next one we have is Emission, which allows the object to emit light, which gives the object a specular highlight that is determined by the direction of the light. The last one is the Shininess. It controls how an object reflects light. There are some preset options for the materials. For example, we have here chalk, metallic, plastic and rubber appearance. Let's check them one by one and see how they affect the appearance of the molecule. So this was all for today. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Okay, bye.